Hi guys, Rebecca here. So this week I attended a workshop called an emotional cleansing class, and I want to share with you some of my takeaways and the notes that I took. It was a really great informative class, and I want to tell you what I learned. So I'm going to start with a disclaimer that says the purpose of today's presentation is educational purposes only. I'm not a healthcare professional. I do not make claims to treat, cure, or diagnose any disease, nor prescribe any forms of treatment. And as a Young Living distributor, I share information that I've collected through personal research, cultural influences, and empowered decisions. So, let's get right to it. We all have emotions. We have negative and we have positive ones. Fear and emotional trauma really do, in fact, have an effect on our physical health. Emotional trauma that we experience gets imprinted on our DNA, right onto our cells, and we're going to get into that a little bit. And once in a while, we need to do an emotional cleanse. No matter who we are, no matter how old we are, we all pick up emotional baggage that just needs to be cleaned out once in a while. So we're going to talk about 13 different oils to use in this protocol. And I want to show you where to apply them and talk a little bit about the oils and even what you can expect from an emotional cleanse. So the 13 oils we're going to go through is Valor, Harmony, Present Time, Forgiveness, Inner Child, Sacred Frankincense, Three Wise Men, Hope, Idaho Grand Fir, Grounding, Joy, Release, and White Angelica. So I actually don't have two of the oils. I do not have Hope and I do not have Present Time. So I'll still tell you where to put them and how to use them and a little bit about them, but I'm not going to demonstrate that part because I don't have them with me today. So these oil blends that we're going to talk about today were formulated by Gary Young for emotional support and emotional needs. Emotional oils can get deep into our cells where we harbor trauma, unresolved emotions, and even fear. Fear is a very negative emotion. It can be controlling. It can prevent us from moving forward in life. And over the years, we experience trauma from a very young age, and at any stage in life, we can experience trauma. We all do, no matter what, no matter who we are. And these traumas can cause fear. They can restrict us from being ourselves. We can feel trapped and even sometimes display inappropriate behaviors. So these traumas not only affect our life, but they also compromise our immune system. And our immune systems are very, very important when it comes to maintaining health and being healthy. They say, or examples of what that could look like is like allergies or anxiety or depression, these things that we see quite commonly around us. Research shows that they could be a result of some emotional traumas that we're still carrying that need to be cleansed out of ourselves. So they say that anxiety is actually worrying about the future, while depression is dwelling in the past. And what we actually need to be doing every day is living in the moment, being present in our day and in every moment that we face. So we need to let go of some emotional baggage because it really does affect our health and our habits. So trauma can affect our self-image, our self-worth, and sometimes we can even lose our own identity. So we need more tools than just talking about it. Talking about it is great and extremely valuable, but we can actually take that one step further and cleanse ourselves. So it's really helpful for our health and our well-being to let go of what's harbored and what's stored in our body cells. So emotional trauma actually gets imprinted on our cells. So this is how that happens. An emotional traumatic moment happens, and that causes stress to our bodies. The stress causes our sympathetic nervous system to produce excessive cortisol, which then produces acid and the transcriptase enzyme. That enzyme locks the emotions that we are experiencing in that moment from the trauma onto our body cells. This happens at the DNA and the cellular level. So how do we erase these imprints? first we have to bring them up, delete the negative programming in our brains, and reset the positive program. So our oils are not just for overcoming emotions, they also enhance good feelings when we use them every day. They enable a person to have feelings of being set free and being well, just having a good peace about life. So they can be self-administered, they can be facilitated by others. We use them topically, we inhale them, or we also diffuse them. So years and years ago, Gary wrote a book. It was one of his first books. It was called Aromatherapy, The Essential Beginning. This book is hard to find. It's not really in print anymore, to my knowledge, but it is available, sometimes secondhand, and it's all about our oils and our emotions. So more information on this topic can actually be found in our big desk reference book for essential oils that Young Living has. There's a whole chapter on emotions and oils. So today we're actually going to go over some of the content from that chapter. So during an emotional cleanse, childhood pain can resurface. Sometimes there are things we didn't even know about or remember. But the purpose of them resurfacing is for them to be released. So there is a Young Living kit where you can get the emotional oils. It's called the Feelings Kit. It's on the American side. It's NFR for us Canadians. And it's actually highly recommended for people with PTSD. So that's a whole different video. But this emotional cleanse is good for people with PTSD, and that kit is recommended for that as well. So let's dive into these oils. So the 13 oils we're going to talk about today, we're going to start with Valor. Amazing, amazing blend. This is brand new. I'm just going to open it. This is one of my favorite oils, and it's blue. Okay, Valor. It's calming, balancing. It helps instill feelings of courage, confidence, and self-esteem. This is a good one to use every day. And if you just noticed, I put it on my wrists. Rub my wrists together. Okay, the next one is Harmony. This smells lovely. Harmony promotes physical and emotional healing by creating a harmonic balance within the body. It helps reduce stress and amplifies feelings of well-being, resulting in a positive attitude. Sacred Frankincense. This is a dreamy, I just love frankincense. Frankincense or sacred frankincense. Sacred frankincense helps regulate our emotions, helps relieve stress, supports our immune system. It promotes positive feelings and attitudes that stimulate our immune system, which is important. It's calming, and it helps ease the depression around life traumas, like physical or emotional losses. Sacred frankincense is great for people who have autoimmune diseases. So this is a great oil to keep on hand for all times and for all things. The next one is Three Wise Men. This one's on the American side. This is NFR. This is a blend that helps open up your brain and your subconscious mind to release deep-seated emotional blockages from trauma, and it helps promote spiritual awareness. It's a very mellow, very pleasant oil. Three Wise Men, and this one's a 15 ml. So by opening up our brain, we're ready to receive changes to our emotions, which is amazing. Inner Child. This is one of my favorites. I love this one. Not everybody does. And they actually say, when you smell it, if you don't like it, that you maybe had a bit more negative childhood, where if you smell it and you love it, you had a more positive experience growing up. So one of the ingredients in this blend is neroli. And the reason it's in here is because Gary felt that children should value themselves. And when children have emotional trauma or emotional baggage, like when people have emotional trauma from childhood, you can lose your self-esteem, you can lose your value. But when you smell Inner Child, because the neroli is in it, children and adults can help feel their inner value being brought up. And if you think about, when you're young and life really is just getting started, if you haven't had any trauma happen, your personality is what it was designed to be. Then as life traumas and life experiences happen, sometimes our personalities shift and we lose who we were actually designed to be. And so inner child can help us reconnect to who we were designed to be before life happened. And even Jasmine is in this one, and Jasmine is good for helping balance female hormones, but it's also really good at helping us reconnect with our identity. So as women, and when we have children and busy lives and husbands, we can sometimes put ourselves on the back burner and lose a little bits of our own identity. And so inner child helps us reconnect with that and helps kind of reinstill personal value and identity, self-worth, and self-esteem. This has a really bold scent, very, very floral. I like it a lot. Okay, release. Release, this is a 15 ml. This helps release negative feelings, stimulates the mind while relaxing the body. And it smells lovely. It prepares the mind to let go of negative emotions and frustration. So it enables positive progress. So during an emotional cleanse, it's good to use this one several times, even up to 3 or 4 different times. The next oil is Idaho Grand Fir. This one just got a rename. It was Idaho Balsam Fir before. Nope. Maybe Idaho Grand Fir. Idaho Balsam Fir. I think it was that one. Now it's called Grand Fir. Smells amazing. This one is great for relieving stress and pain, both physical and emotional. Helps bring feelings of security and is very grounding for emotions. Most of the woodsy ones, the tree oils, are really good for grounding and emotions. All right. The next one. Actually, I have another note here on inner child. Helps us remember our childhood, helps us find our identities. I guess that's not in the right place in my script, in my notes. Okay, forgiveness. This is the most important oil when it comes to emotional well-being because forgiveness is so important for our health and wellness. We often think that by holding on to our feelings of unforgiveness that we're, punishing the other person or reminding them of what they've done to us, but really that just hurts us. It our journey is not about them, it's about us, and it's really important to keep our hearts in a stance of forgiveness. So forgiveness, this blend helps erase memory at the cellular level, helps us move on, and it cleanses out our cells. So if we cannot forgive, we cannot move on, and that's really important. So forgiveness is important for clearing out emotional garbage. You know what? We take the garbage out of our house every once in a while, right? So why not take it out of our bodies as well? The next one is grounding. And if you notice, a lot of these are purple emotional oils. So grounding, love it. It's amazing. This one is for emotional security, helps restore confidence and peace. It enables good decision making, helps you make decisions logically and peacefully. Sometimes decision making can be stressful. The next one is hope, and this is one I don't have yet. So hope stimulates the brain to release emotional blockages and enables the user to find new vision. It also stirs up hopes and dreams. Hope must be in place to move on in life. So what that makes me think of is sometimes we just get so overwhelmed with life and busyness that we don't let ourselves dream. We don't let ourselves hope for the future. And the Bible actually says hope deferred makes the heart sick. And so, at one time I thought that hope was kind of a wishy-washy word, like I hope you have a nice day and I hope you have a good birthday. I felt like that was kind of wishy-washy, that there wasn't a whole lot of weight to that. But then I realized that the Bible says that faith, hope, and love, and that the greatest of these is love. Well, if hope is in that list, it's a really important thing for life and for health. And so then I was like, you know what? Hope is the evidence of things not seen. And that's actually the definition of faith. Faith is the hope of things not seen. And so I realized, wait a minute, that's not a wishy-washy word. That's actually very empowering, and a key to health is maintaining hope in our hearts. And so I don't have that blend yet, but it's on my to get list, and it helps stir up hopes and dreams in our hearts. And just knowing that hope deferred makes the heart sick, it shows how valuable and important it is to have hope in our hearts. So it's a good one. Go into get. The next one is joy. One of my favorites. Joy helps stir up feelings of self-love, self-worth, and it helps bring joy to our hearts. And it's beautiful. This one's a big one, 15 mil. Present time. I do not have this one as well. But Gary was quoted saying, "We are not alive if we're living in the past." We are not alive if we're living in the past. Let's think on that one for a little bit. So this oil heightens our sense of being in the moment. It helps bring behavior changes, which is sometimes important. This blend helps us stop dwelling in the past and helps us move on. And one example of this was a lady who had a session for emotional release. After she'd had her session, the next day she calls her facilitator and says, "Hey, I just made my husband breakfast." And the facilitator was like, "Great. Like, don't most of us from time to time make our husbands breakfast?" And she was like, "No, I have not made him breakfast in 14 years. And so what that shows is that she got an emotional healing that changed her behavior and the love for her husband. So whatever was blocking her from loving her husband was eliminated and released in her session. So that is a life-changing thing. So that's an example of a behavior change that happens. And if you watched my last video on the raindrop, I would say my daughter had a behavior change after her last raindrop, where she realized she had emotions that she had not processed, that she needed to walk through. And after having that happen, her joy level went way up and she cleaned her bedroom, which is a big deal for that 15-year-old. Okay, last one, beautiful blend. This one's blue, White Angelica. This one's important to apply after your session. This helps you hold your progress and protects your positivity. This is calming and soothing. It stirs up feelings of security and protects you from negative feelings of others or for yourself. So this is a good one to apply before being around negative people. Put it on your shoulders. For real. I know for me, I don't know if it's just because I'm a mom or if I can be a little bit more empathetic than some people, is that I can pick up on other people's emotions. If somebody's upset, I can feel upset. If someone gets angry, I can feel angry. If somebody's sad, I can feel sad. And that's not my own emotions. That's me taking on other people's emotions. And so White Angelica is really important for me to help me keep my own emotions to myself. And yes, it's fabulous to be compassionate to other people, but I actually don't need to take on their emotions. And so that's one thing that White Angelica helps me with. So if you're somebody who kind of struggles with that, I recommend giving White Angelica a try. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about how to apply these oils and what to do with them. Warning and a caution here is emotional release is not always pretty. It can sometimes be ugly. There can be ugly tears, screaming, bawling, weeping, wailing, pain. All of these things can occur depending on what the person has gone through, depending on what is stored. You can use this protocol on children, but it's recommended to use less drops and to dilute it. I wouldn't necessarily warn them about emotions that might come up because you don't want to put any kind of expectations on them, but be aware that they may have some stuff that needs to come out that they're going to release. So just be sensitive to them if that happens. And for yourself, go with whatever emotions are happening. If you need to cry, do it. If you need to, if you get angry and you need to yell, do it. Like get it out, okay? So these oils are gonna help release these things, and sometimes we gotta let it go. And actually, I should have mentioned that in my raindrop video, because sometimes after raindrop, emotional things get triggered, and sometimes you need to cry, and sometimes you need to laugh, and just go with it, okay? Your bodies know what needs to happen, whether our minds do, and just trust yourself, okay? Okay, so one key thing here that is going to be similar for all the oils, okay? Now, the lady who did the class I just watched, she said don't ever shake your oils to get them out. She said that just let it drop. You got to be patient. So that's something I need to work on. Okay, so she says take your oil, drop it 3 drops in your hand, okay? I always go upside down and then tilt it. 1, 2, 3. See my valor? That's so pretty. Okay, then so this is my left hand. Take your right hand, rotate 3 times. 1, 2, 3. See that? I have oil here. Okay, Valor, she says let 3 drops fall in your hand. Pick up the oil clockwise. Okay, under my nose. 1, 2, 3. On my shoulders. 1, 2, 3. On my other shoulder. I don't even know if this is clockwise. 1, 2, 3. And on the bottom of your feet. So I'm going to take my slippers off. 1, 2, 3. And again, 1, 2, 3. And then whatever you have left over on your hands, just take a minute to inhale, okay? Hopefully I don't have an emotional release here with you. So this is the part in the video where if you have these oils, go ahead and pause this. Go get your oils if you haven't. We can actually go through this together, an emotional release. Okay, so that was our Valor. We applied it topically and we inhaled it 3 times, okay? Now we take our Harmony. Actually, let me put the cover back on. Put your lids on nice and securely. Okay, Harmony, I'm going to do the same thing. 3 drops. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. It was not 3. Okay, rotate. 1, 2, 3. 3 times clockwise. Look how much I have. Now, she said put these on the 7 energy spots on our bodies. Some people call them energy fields. Some people call them chakras. We can just call them whatever the body part they are. I don't want you to be afraid of the word chakra. Just because that's the name doesn't mean that those energy spots don't exist on your body. So, here I have my Harmony, and golly, I have a lot. Okay, so on the top of my head, clockwise, let's see. Clockwise. 1, 2, 3. My forehead. 1, 2, 3. So I'll tell you what the spots are first. Top of your head, forehead. They go in a straight line, right down. So top of the head, forehead, throat, heart, your solar plexus, 2 fingers below your belly button, and on your tailbone. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is right at the top of my sternum. Okay, solar plexus is right at the base of your ribs where your abdomen starts. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put some below my belly button. 1, 2, 3. And then on my tailbone. So just on my low back. 1, 2, 3. Okay, then inhale. Okay, so that's 3 times. Okay, now I'm going to put my lid on. I can really feel my head just clearing. Sacred frankincense. Sacred frankincense elevates spiritual connection. Okay, I don't know how much I have in here. I might have 3 drops. I actually think I'm going to take the stopper out. Now I know I have more than 3 drops in here, so I'm trying to be careful. One, maybe I don't. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. This one's gonna go on my temples. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The back of my neck. 1, 2, 3. The top of my head. 1, 2, 3. And over my heart. 1, 2, 3. And inhale. Okay, so the reason why we rotate and we inhale or we rotate when we apply, I remember listening to Dr. David Stewart talk about this once, and he said that's actually the direction that our DNA rotates. Like our DNA is on a spiral and it goes clockwise. So if we do these oils and do it clockwise, they just pair up with our cells faster. So, 3 wise men. Okay, so 3 drops. Actually, it says 2 to 3 drops on the top of your head. So 1, 2, 3. I usually do that so I can feel it on the top of my head. Okay, and then inhale. Don't look. I'm actually like tapping. I'm not as patient as maybe I should be. 1, 2, 3. Now we just inhale. Good thing this one smells good. Okay, this time, when you get to this one, 3 wise men, you have to take a moment, close your eyes, and think. Just be aware of what is coming to your mind. Okay, so close your eyes and focus. Do you see a person, a place, a memory? Our limbic system is starting to release memories that we may or may not be happy with at this point in this cleanse. So whatever comes to your mind, that's what your body's getting ready to release, okay? The next one is release. Okay, so this time, 3 drops in our hand. 1, 2, 3. And again, rotate. 1, 2, 3. Okay. This time, we're going to put this on our liver. If you don't know where your liver is, it's on your right-hand side, just where your ribs and your abdomen meet, and it's about the size of your hand. So we're going to rotate 3 times, 1, 2, 3, on the front of your liver and on your back where your liver is. So 1, 2, 3, and then inhale. So this is at the point in the video and in the cleanse where if you have some emotions that need to go, it could happen here. Whether you're gonna laugh or cry or sigh, whatever it is, let it out. Okay, next oil is Grand Fir. The nice thing about most of these oils is you can get them with points. So if you don't if you're not going to get the feelings kit, but you want to start building this emotional selection, use your points or add 1 or 2 to your ER order every month, or use your points to be collecting this collection. These oils, they last a long time. And so just having them ready to go when you need an emotional cleanse is really, really important. So, Idaho Grand Fir, 3 drops. This one's 1, 2, 3. Wow, lots of drops. Okay. At the brainstem, so right where your skull and your neck meet. 1, 2, 3. Under my nose. 1, 2, 3. Let me see. Yeah, so just on the back of your neck and under your nose. I got way too much. I'm actually gonna rub it on my belly because I have way too much. And on my back, why not? Okay, and inhale. Wow, it smells amazing. I love the tree oils. So just a little side note is I was at the farm in Idaho and we were distilling Idaho blue spruce, and we were in the distillery and in the building for hours, and people's emotions were starting to get unlocked. We had people experiencing anxiety attacks, having things being stirred up and released. It's really powerful. Really powerful. Our bodies are designed to heal. And I think we often think that means owies and boo-boos and broken bones. But it also means emotions and our hearts and our souls, our spirits. Like, we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and our bodies are designed to heal. And these tools help our bodies do just that very thing. Okay, inner child. One of my favorites. This one's almost empty, so I'm going to take the cap off on this one too. So inner child, couple drops in your hand. 1, 2, 3. So after the workshop last week, when I did this class, I crashed. I was exhausted, just exhausted. So I slept. I had a really big nap. Okay, inner child. Rotate 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Put a dab under your nose. And then in your belly button. 1, 2, 3. And on my belly. So 1, 2, 3. And then inhale. So this oil may bring up childhood memories, whether they're good or bad. But that's your body's process of getting the emotions out. So when they come out, you gotta let them go. Okay, next one is forgiveness, and we mentioned this one's one of the most important ones in this whole process. Forgiveness. 3 drops. It's a slow one. Here we go. 1, 2. Oops, I shook my bottle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this one we put on our belly button again and clockwise on our belly. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna smell really good today, and I never thought, but I have to run to Costco, so. And I'm glad it's not sunny, because some of these probably are photosensitive oils, and I'm putting them all over myself here. Okay, that's forgiveness. At this stage, we're going to make a declaration. We're going to declare an affirmation. So write this down. This is what you say. Lovingly and willingly, I release and let go of whatever and whoever does not serve me in a positive and progressive way. So I just want you to think about what's happened so far. We've been applying oils that have been uprooting emotions, releasing our emotions, and then regrounding us. And now we're going to say some affirmations. So, lovingly and willingly, I release and let go of whatever and whoever does not serve me in a positive and progressive way. So at this point, I want you to visualize that person that hurt you, the person that abused you, or the person that made your life miserable. Whatever you picture, whether it's a person or an event or a memory, like something that happened, repeat the affirmation. Repeat it, repeat it, repeat it until you actually can just own it. Then release, and then say, I release and let go. Say, I forgive you. I am letting go. That feeling is no longer with me. And then just sit in that moment for a little while if you need to, Inhale a little bit more, and maybe the affirmation might need to be a little bit different for you. Tweak it, change it, be sensitive to your emotions and your feelings and whatever it is that's coming up. It may be a little bit more personalized for you and for whatever situation it was. So now we pull out our grounding. So now we're gonna kind of reground, stir up some joy, and then seal what we've done. So here we go. We got our grounding, and this one is just delightful. Grounding, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna put it on the back of my neck. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna put it here at the top of my sternum. 1, 2, 3. It's actually hard to talk when you're doing that. And then inhale. Now, the facilitator from the workshop I was in earlier, she had said that there was a lady who, after doing this, a limp that she had went away. So anytime that she felt that limp coming back, she would actually put grounding on her knees and the bottom of her feet, and it would actually help with her limp. So I don't know if that maybe applies to you or not. But grounding is a great oil to grab even when you just need to feel a little bit more grounded in life. So hope, that's one I don't have. 1 drop on the outer edges of your ears. So all up here. Inhale and even apply it to your face if you want. The next one is joy, one of my faves. Okay, 3 drops in my hand. Actually, it's almost gone. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna put it over my heart. 1, 2, 3. And then inhale. So when you inhale, breathe 3 times, deep, 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 and then out with your mouth, okay? Present time, that's one I don't have. You're gonna drip it in your hand 3 times, rotate, apply here. This is the thymus area, also the top of your sternum, and then inhale, okay? The next one is White Angelica. White Angelica is the one that's gonna hold everything in place, all the progress we've just made, okay? So, 3 times. This one's quite yellow. I don't know if you can see that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. White Angelica, we're gonna put on our shoulders. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and on the top of our head. 1, 2, 3. I probably could have just dropped it on the top of my head. Then sometimes I just like to get it in my hair. Okay, White Angelica. Okay, so that is it. That is the process of emotional cleansing. You can do that whenever you feel like you need to, whenever you feel like you need a bit of a detox. You just need to take the garbage out, right? So this is considered self-care. This is taking care of you. And I know as a mom and as a wife, I'm a better mom and I'm a better wife when I take care of myself. We too often put ourselves on the back burner and take care of everybody else's needs and not our own. And so taking time to do things like this are valuable for yourself and for your family. So good job taking care of yourself. We actually got some emotional work done today. So just a couple little extra things is these oils are a tool for health and wellness for you and your family and your home, okay? So whether, just like it's the Raindrop Kit helps do things, we've got oils for so many different things, emotions, immunity, digestion, all those things. Use them, anoint yourself, anoint your foreheads, pray over your families, declare truth over your families. Too often we're just bombarded with lies and distractions and stuff. Take some time to reground, resettle, realign yourself, and rebalance. Dr. Stewart, and I know I've talked about I've brought his name up a couple times. He's written a couple books, but one is called Healing Oils of the Bible. If you listen to my Oils of the Bible class video, I talk about him as well. I maybe even show you the book. He says that taking frankincense And putting a drop under your tongue oxygenates your brain and increases your frequency. So if you're ever feeling low energy or just foggy, put a drop of frankincense right under your tongue. So, and another thing to remember is that whatever emotions get deleted from a cleanse like this, they don't come back. And I want to give you a visual that I thought, that kind of came to me when I was working through this one day, is think of a little ice cube. Like these emotions, these unresolved issues, these traumas, they actually take up real estate in our body. Imagine like a little Lego block or a little frozen ice cube, okay? Imagine an ice cube in your shoulder or wherever that melted, okay? These areas of trauma and emotions that are stored have a low frequency. So the oils go find those areas of low frequency and they clean it and they raise the frequency. So an ice cube, you pour warm water on it, it melts, it's gone. Does the ice cube come back? No, it can't. It's gone. The form has been changed. That's exactly what's happening with this emotional release. And that's why you see behavior changes. That's why you can see freedom and victory very quickly sometimes, and it lasts. So, amazing. These are gifts from our Heavenly Father for our health and our wellness. That makes me feel special. That makes me feel loved. And I hope that you feel the same way. Just know that your Heavenly Father loves you. He put these oils here for your health and your wellness. And thanks for watching today. If you have any questions, reach out. Let me know. Bless you.